and just, don't just blurt out whatever you think I feel this, and that. It's like, well, you probably should have thought about that before you said it, because there's a whole different other side to that.
Yeah, hands down, man.
It's just a matter of being aware, bro, and reading the room. Reading the room, it should be like the quote of the year, bro. Read the room.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit,
Might as well name this podcast Read the Room. Shit. God damn. Well, let's dip into your music a little bit more, man, because when I got introduced to your music, it was with the Tranquilo album, back in 2016. And I remember checking that out, and I was like, all right, like, Miami does have really great sounds. Like, of course, everyone was hearing about it because of, like, the whole, Rated Clan to Puya and the Buffet Boys, and, like, everybody else making noise out there. And what was it? So when I was around Zombie was type of those dudes. And, like, me, I started interacting with some of them, and it was, like, cool. But then she was showing me, like, you and then the Nobodies and fucking, I don't know who else out there. But shout out fucking Brain Dead. Those dudes out there are pretty dope. And what's it called? And I've always, like, looked at it. I'm like, okay, like, they have a more, like, experimental, artsy type of direction with their hip-hop noise. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, to me, I've always, like, gave salute out there and such. So when I checked out the Tranquilo album, I'm like, all right, like, this guy's pretty dope. I dig it and stuff, you know what I mean?
I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. That tape it really, like, I guess it changed, like, the trajectory of who I am as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Because before it was, like, I was still finding my sound, and then when I made that, like, it just, Tranquilo was a line in a song, and then it became the title of the song, and then people liked the song so much, so I named the album that, and then from there it was just like, yo, that's what I'm known as now.
Yeah, hands down.
And then eventually it just spilled over into everything else, and now that's my identity type. You know what I'm saying?
Cool, man. Shit. And so, at least like Spotify wise, I really couldn't tell if there was like any like other albums, but I did see like under the single section there was like this like EP or something. I forgot the name of it though. I didn't write it down. But you did have like another project up on Spotify, and so like
I have a Sounds On Baby. That's the other one.
That's what it was. Yes. So
that's the last project I dropped.
And so how was the transition going from Tranquilo to that?
I mean, it had been years. Really, it had been years. So I had dropped singles and things like that, done features, and actually before that I had dropped a project called Fuego Chris, which is similar. It's on SoundCloud actually, but it's a good in between because it shows you like the time period between those two, because like that one wasn't really so like Spanish based, or like I guess like how do you say it? It was just a weird time, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't so like Latin driven. It was just me dropping music and however I felt at the moment. But then I really wanted to dive deep into the roots with Sazon Baby. My first like Spanish song and things like that. So because I've always done like Spanglish, I've named songs in Spanish. I've said a few words here and there, but I speak English. You know what I'm saying? So I was just dabbling in both. And with that one, I really did that. And it was the first project I produced, made like mostly. So it was a dope. It was big for me, more than it was like getting a reception and things like that. Like for me, it was big.
Yeah, hands down. And I think that's like one thing that like I personally learned after a while was like I think another reason why I was like so held back trying to like do more interviews with like specific artists and having like a specific image was because I was trying to figure out what the hell people wanted more than what I actually just kind of want to do. You know what I mean? So that's why afterwards, like the whole quarantine came up, I decided, all right, I just want to make a platform so people can like have another source of like information for people to check out. You know what I'm saying? And then see where it takes off from there. And I think that's like best for your case. Like you make music that you actually want to do yourself, because then you're gonna have the real, genuine fans like tune in, like they're listening to every word you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I mean I feel like anybody can make one. I take that back. Not anybody can make mainstream. I see a lot of people do it, but even that is hard for me to make like a typical mainstream type of song and things like that. Like even that for me, that's kind of hard because it's like it's not me. I can't fake that funk.
I can tell, man. Your last single was called "Kill That Shit." Yeah, that ain't exactly mainstream.
for me, is I like to make what I like to hear. So that's what I make. And for me, it works. People dig it. People appreciate it. They share it. They comment on it. They give me feedback, which is something I appreciate the most, because to get somebody to share it is cool. Like, people hit a click, a like, or whatever. But to actually listen to it, digest it, and regurgitate their opinion to you is pretty dope.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. And I don't mean to go too deep or dark with it, but has there ever been like a time where you want to share it with everybody, like a dark time of yours that kind of like helped mold you to be the person you are today?
You mean like a dark time, like in my life, like in a song, or?
Oh, like anything that can resort to a song, or even just like you as a person that kind of like puts you together.
I feel like I'm very transparent when it comes to my social media, and at the same time my music, especially my music. Like I'll like, if you listen to some of my songs, I'll highlight some things in my personal life that obviously it's in rhyme form and shit. But I feel like I'm very transparent. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know what I'm saying? So I don't put up a front. I try to keep it at least 2 Virgils.
Shout out Virgil. Shit, man. Yeah, I mean, like, that's like another thing too. Like sometimes, especially back when 2016 to 17, everybody was focused so much on like the sad boy, like I've had it hard, type of sound. Like everyone always talked about. All of a sudden, everyone started talking about their depression and anxiety, and as if it's like a trend now. You know what I mean? And that shit got on my nerves, man. For some of those that like actually deal with it, they're not as open to talk about it. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I remember that era. That it was. I did notice that. People. There's always gonna be opportunists. There's always gonna be people who see the opportunity and let me do this type of music. And I feel like ever since those waves of the underground, like the underground hasn't really been hitting as it used to. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we're in a weird time right now. So it gives opportunity for anything, But I feel, at least with me, I've never really tried to jump on a certain wave or, try to be something I'm not, because if I try to do that, even like as I'm recording it, I'll be like, yo, nah, this ain't it, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm very honest with myself. I'm my harshest critic and my biggest fan. So I keep it honest with myself.
Nah, for sure, man. Damn. So I don't know. Well, but that segue going in, how was like your writing rituals? Like, what kind of gets you in the mood to like